So what is coding? So when you think of coding, what do you think of? Now, a lot of people might think coding is a bunch of work or hard work where you have to sit on the desk alone and just write bunch of lines in code. Now, that's not actually false. It's actually true, but that's not everything. Okay, but if you were to define coding, okay, in simple term, it's very simple. It's a way to give a computer an instruction. Okay, it's very simple, right? So basically, in coding, what you do is you want to write a clear instruction to a computer so that it does what you want to do. So of course, in order to do that, first you need to know what you want to do, right? That's very important because why? Many times, believe it or not, that's the hardest thing to understand or start. So even if you're good at coding, you may not be a great programmer because you may not understand what you really need to do. So throughout the course, not only will learn about how to code, but we'll focus on problem understanding and also problem solving because that's more important than just writing a bunch of lines. So example like this. Um, so coding is instruction, right? So it's like communication, it's a language. So imagine you are here, you're in the person, you're a person here, right? Maybe this is you, maybe this is you, depending on your choice. Maybe this is you. I don't know. But the point is, even if you know the language well, if you cannot communicate what you want to say, how to solve a question, right? How to solve a problem, it becomes useless. So it's very important that not only you know how to speak, but it's really important that you are communicating. So you're communicating with others or maybe something else to first better understand the question or problem and also collaborate with others, discuss, question, persuade, communicate with others in order to develop what? Innovative and creative way to solve a problem. So this is why I'm going to emphasize again, every time we meet every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I urge you to speak, okay? You may think, okay, I understand everything, so there's no need for me to ask or talk. But that's not true. Even if you know everything, even if you don't know anything, right? You should talk and discuss, not only to understand better, to maybe inform, maybe teach others, and maybe after that you can even develop even a better solution or better ideas upon those. So this is why not only coding is just sitting alone and writing a bunch of code, a bunch of lines, but also it involves collaboration, teamwork, discussion. So it's very important. So please get engaged. Okay. All right. What is coding? Continuing. So there are many coding languages like C++, Java, PHP, HTML, Python. There's so many languages that we cannot write them all here. And by the way, maybe next year there might be new languages, okay? So there's no point of deciding, okay, which language is the best. There's no such thing, okay? It's continuing to develop and there's so many. So the point here is how to use them, okay? So for example, Google, Nintendo, maybe a lot of people here play Switch, I don't know. But there's no person who knows or mastered every language, okay? Maybe some expert, most of the experts are like maybe good at two or three, even if you're good at like more, like four or five. But the point here is um, knowing how coding works and how to think critically, right? And problem solving. I'm saying those phrases many times, right? Because that's very important, right? So different languages are there to serve different purposes, but we will not be covering those because that's not the point of the this class, okay? But just know that they have different purposes. Now, example of coding, like we can find simple use of coding in everyday lives, right? Calculators, Google, phone, social media. Like when I say phone, I'm not talking about just smartphones. Even the old ones where you input numbers, it involves coding, okay? Because there's an input, there's an output, right? So just for fun, let's compete with a calculator, okay? All right, so the human versus calculator. So 1 plus 1, if you need to bring out your not computer, pencil and paper, please do so. But I believe that 1 plus 1 is pretty easy. It's 2, right? All right, now 1 plus 1 plus 2, it's pretty insulting, right? It's pretty easy, it's 4. So up to now, right, you don't really need a calculator or any computer, any coding, because in your head, most likely you can get those answers without any problem. Even this one, 3 times 9, what is it? 27, hopefully, right? Now the next one is challenging, okay? What if I gave you 18,412 times 19,210? Now, take your time, pause the video if you have to, okay? Now, please do not use calculator. And hopefully you got 353,694,520. See, even saying this number is hard, okay? But if you plug in these numbers in calculator or computer or any coding devices, this can spit out the answer like this, okay? That's the beauty of coding. Because why? As long as we give clear instruction, it will give the right answer. So there's no way for you to write 1 plus 1 and the calculator will give you 3 unless the whole coding is wrong, right? So the whole purpose of coding is giving clear instruction. But remember, in order to do that, you have to have clear problem understanding and you need to have good problem solving skills. Okay. Now moving on. So we already mentioned there are many different languages and also there are different methods of writing code. Okay. The two major ones. Number one is block form. Okay. Now block platform is pretty easy because why? It's just drag and drop. So usually this is a way to start coding. Okay. So for you, maybe fourth graders to like middle school, even though you may think it's early to start, it's not because it's a great, I mean, everyone can start with block coding, okay? It's a good place to start. It's designed to be fun and easy. I mean, everyone loves dragging, right? Nowadays, and designed to be outgrown. This is very important, okay? You're not gonna be doing drag and drop forever. You will outgrow this method, okay? But you might think, hey, since this is really easy, what's the point of learning this? Like, is there like anyone can do it? But remember this: coding is instruction. Okay, giving instruction anyone can do, but giving clear and right and accurate instruction is very, very different than just giving instruction. And lastly, giving concise yet accurate instruction is even more challenging. Okay, and eventually, what you want to do is not only give accurate instruction, but also you want to give concise and efficient instruction. And that takes skills. Okay. So even with this easy method, okay, depending on how you think how to approach, you can truly benefit you greatly. So I suggest you don't take this lightly. Okay. Now, text-based coding. Now, most of the coding in real life, like all the companies, big companies, or even small companies, they use text-based coding. Now you can see here, this is an example of Python. You may think this is really, really complex. And yeah, in a way, it is complex, but it's really similar to Visual Block Platform, meaning if you truly understand Visual Block Platform deeply, it's pretty easy to transform and or transfer your knowledge in block into text-based. And when you get started with text-based, of course, it can get harder, but it's a real way. It's possible. This is real programming languages. Now, I'm not saying this is not real, but this is like actual like real. All right, moving on. So I want you to see the difference between block coding and text-based coding. Now, block coding, you drag and drop the function and something that you want to write, and bam, you get it. So this, what it does is when it's clicked, it says or prints out hello world for how many seconds? 2 seconds. It's pretty easy, right? But if you want to write this in C++, this is all you have to write. It's a lot more complicated, right? So eventually though, even though this may seem hard, it's possible if you understand this, it's easier to transfer knowledge into text-based form. Now look at this one. In text, in block form, it's 3 plus 5 is what, right? That's what the coding is trying to do. But if you were to write 3 plus 5 in like the text-based form in C++, by the way, C++ is a very difficult language. But anyway, look at this. It's very complicated, right? Now, the whole point of these two slides are not to scare you, but I want you to see how the difference between text-based and visual block. So there we go. But the whole point we're trying to emphasize this. throughout the course, we're not only going to focus on just coding or language, okay? Because that's the just surface of it. We'll be focusing on the following things: critical thinking, innovative thinking, problem understanding, problem solving, and coding skill. Because without one of this, it's not complete. So coding takes all these skills. Okay, so this is why that you might be thinking, okay, you know what? When I grow up, even though I don't know what I'm going to do, I might get I might be interested in doing, like, for example, a doctor, nurse, and teacher, or nothing to do with engineering. So you think, okay, I don't think I'm going to be needing coding, right? But that's not true, because number one, like I said, the coding, like, in order to learn coding, you have to learn these skills: critical thinking, innovative thinking, creative thinking, and problem solving. All these skills are used in every field. Okay, it's very crucial. It's a core skill that you need to develop throughout your early life. Okay, you're in early life, yes. And also, nowadays, what's happening is everything requires some sort of computer skills. Meaning, if you learn how to code, it will greatly develop, or not develop. It will greatly help you in any field that you go into. But any question you might have in regard to, like, like a future or career, please do ask whenever we meet together, and we'll be more than happy to answer you. All right.
Now let's pause the video to answer these review questions. If you have to go back in the video to get these answers, that's fine. Alright, welcome back. And now we're gonna watch a video of how to get Make app and also how to purchase Make Kit. And now let's watch a video. It shows you what you can make with this Make Kit.